What's going on, guys? I'm Christian.
I'm Malachi.
This is Cinema Labyrinth.
This is The Kid in the Camera by some creators on YouTube that go by GrumbledEntertainment. So this video is shot and filmed claymation, but like you're flipping through the pages of a child's storybook. So it's about like 5 frames per second, but it kind of gives it that weird like sense of uneasiness when you watch something like that. Like it's different than what you're normally used to seeing, so it feels weird. But it opens up with the boy who gets a camera as a present on his birthday, and this man loves his camera. He's a fiend for it. He's taking pictures of everything, bro. He turns into a vlogger, YouTube star, everything, bro.
Go ahead and put fiend.
Fucking fiend, bro. That man like itching at the neck the second he got the camera talk. Oh, this is the shit, bro. Every click is like a fucking another hit.
That's okay though. I mean, that's kid's first toy. That's excited. Like,
that's how I started.
Oh, this guy. But the kid gets excited about that first toy, which is pretty cool. I mean, I think we can relate. We all have that first toy that you get excited about. Although a camera, I mean, I think. What do you think the kid was?
Bro, if I got a fucking camera for my birthday, like a good one,
yeah,
like, that would be lit as hell.
Right. So see, you'd be excited over it too.
I'd be hyped.
You over there talking mad
bro.
Heavy on the man's name.
I didn't even mean it like that. You know, he just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. That he got. We're gonna move past it. I'm sorry.
You sure with the itching in the neck? I mean.
I apologize. You know, I'd like to say my formal I made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
But I think it's the kid excitement, you know what I mean? And that kind of follows a good portion of the first start of the movie up until he has his accident.
Yeah.
Where my man trips over a twig. Mind you, it's not a twig. And
bro, how do you fall over a twig? Bro,
got me dying.
No balance. But anyways, bro, the kid drops the camera and he cracks the screen.
And the camera broke.
Bro, just keep in mind, the camera still works, okay?
We haven't even gotten to that point yet.
Bro, it doesn't matter. I'm just putting that out there. Only the screen is cracked, bro. It's like if you crack the screen on your phone, it still works. He was good.
If it damages it deep enough, does it?
If it's just the screen?
If it goes in deep into the screen, might hit one of the panels, maybe the board.
Bro, you know how deep that have to be from a twig fall? But yeah, bro pretty much cries about it all day because he's a pussy, right?
Wow.
And then he goes to bed. And that man just can't fall asleep.
He can't because he's thinking about the camera. But then, I think the cream of the crop for the movie, the little fairy, the little sleep fairy. That's Z's.
Ooh.
But the little sleep fairy comes and says, just appears at the window. Go ahead and hit a little ding ding. Yes. You know, like. But he does that, and the kid just he's skeptical at first. He hesitates to respond a little bit because he doesn't know where it's coming from. And then the little fairy, again, yes, ding ding. But he opens up the window, and the fairy starts talking about how he's the sleep fairy, which you could view as like somebody essentially breaking into the home. You know what I mean?
That man is he's definitely a weirdo, bro. Anybody that's knocking on your window at that,
weirdo.
Yeah, that.
But I think the kid hesitates, but then opens it because I think the fairy, the one that, yes, the fairy. So it makes the kid feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. So he starts having the conversation with the fairy, and then the fairy talks about, well, why aren't you sleeping? Which to me, I kind of view the fairy as like, obviously, weirdo, but that he's been watching the kid because he can see the kid struggling, you know what I mean? Like struggling to fall asleep. So it's somebody that might have had their eye on the kid for a good amount of time. And I mean, I'm sure you'll post a picture up of the young fella, but the man's fit's clean.
Whose fit is clean?
His. You didn't see it? The striped t-shirt and shit with clogs and Crocs. But What? I think it brings that kid a little bit of comfort to where they can spark up a conversation, and then the fairy asks, what's wrong? And the kid says, it's my camera. And then he gets into, well, I can fix it for you. You got to follow me, though.
Right. It's enticing him, leading him on, bro, because he knows they're easy to manipulate when you're that young. You know
right, and I think, you bringing that up, I think the film itself, when you look at it, pretty self-explanatory. Like, I think that really is the clear message behind the film is kids, how gullible they are. And then, we get into, I would say, the weirder part of it, where he's following the voice, and you see those photos that are chopped up.
Dude, those were really good. So what happens is, he follows him to a house. Bro says, come inside the house. And for some reason, bro goes in. I can't explain it. I really can't, because it was a creepy-ass house. But he goes in there and
in the middle of the forest.
Yeah, in the middle of the forest, bro. Walked like a mile out there or something like that. I don't know, bro. It didn't say. But it was a long time.
Leg day.
And then the second he gets in the house, it uses the pictures that the kid was taking on his camera, like in the story, as like what it shows us on screen. So it shows us like real life pictures of him like getting inside the house, closing the door, going through, and then it shows him going down into the basement. Bro, you see the little fairy thing talking about, come here.
He said, come here, you muck! I think that scene, I think that's where it plays on the little bit more of a scarier aspect where you see the real life brought into it. Because the photos are real, they're not clay. They're actual photos of things that you would see walking into a home. Yeah. Which makes it a little bit more uncomfortable, but I think for, YouTube being, a lot of kids watched YouTube, I think that makes it real. You know what I mean? Like, shows that, oh, if I go downstairs into the basement, I might have a boiler. Because you see the boiler, like the water heater, is going to be down in the basement, so it makes it a little real, which I think the creator is really trying to send the message
make
to.
It clear, since it's something that a kid might accidentally click on. Which,
right, and that's another thing you got to remember too. It's claymation, so a little more enticing to a younger audience.
So it makes it very clear, very easy. It's very easy to understand, but it does have a lot of nuances to it.
And then we get to the point where it takes the photo, and you see the guy standing there, and then.
Grown man.
That's it.
Lumberjack type beat. Bro was big. Then all you see is the kid's feet.
The rest of the boy was never found.
That's all you get, some toes. For all you foot fetish weirdos, don't watch this.
But I think at that, you see that, and it's just what really happens, and I think this brings it in a little bit more to perspective, kid essentially gets abducted. That's really, what it is, you know what I mean? Gets abducted and is killed, but how many unsolved cases are out there now of kids going missing and you never figure out what actually happened to them, or they never find them? It's probably something along the lines of that, and I think that drives a pretty big point home. But, going back to, I was saying, the message is very clear what it's supposed to be. So what you put it at? Quality.
Quality-wise, look.
It's okay to be realistic.
You gotta make it like a...
film nerd.
Like a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7, okay? It's claymation, but realistically, it's a pretty easy film to make. Oh, what I was gonna say was that I appreciate that... I appreciate that the way it was shot and filmed wasn't graphic at all, and it was less of it was more like a what's the other? It's not horror, but it's it's a little
thriller?
more calm.
Psychological.
Yeah, it feels more like a psychological thriller. Not a lot of gore. You see the kid's feet at the end cut off, but
no blood though.
Yeah,
it's just
no blood. It's just smooth, straight, cleanest cut you've ever seen, bro.
But so put a 7. I can't speak to it too much. That's where your area expertise. But to me, I think it was shot like ass. The one frame was getting me. I get the kind of the message. So I put it at a 5.
You're gonna put it a 5.
Like a 5.
Mind you,
my one tier is very low. If you go below 5, it's very low. It's gotta be really bad, and this film is not.
The thing is where I gotta give it points at, the extra points, because I said what I didn't like about it. It's not that I don't like it. Like I said, it's a very easy film to make, but it's very creative. With the bare minimum that they had, it was probably one dude doing this.
I was about to say,
like what he had, he told a pretty cohesive story. You know.
So then, storytelling, what do you put it at?
Storytelling, like I said, pretty basic plot, very to the point. I'm gonna give that like a 6.
Yeah, I'd probably be right there with
bad,
you. It's,
you know what I'm saying, but
it's been done quite a bit.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of films out.
You could have
added your own little mix. Now the fairy, ding, the little fairy. Whoosh, let me tell you, boy, different breed, different cloth, fit, whack, hair, whack, voice, eyes, whack.
But when you see him in the live action photo, like, what does bro got on?
I don't. I mean, I think the gore, 0. Obviously, there was none of it. I think overall as a movie, I mean, we threw some 6s, some 7s, some 5s, so I'd probably put it like a 6.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting if you're going to kill some time. It could be cool if you're just browsing, meandering, taking a little walk, yes, you know, like, be interesting. But aside from that, I don't have too much more to say. I think we summed up quite nice.
Yeah, I would agree. Definitely. If you got time, go ahead and watch it.
For sure.
Definitely props to the creator. It's probably one dude, and he probably did put a lot of work into that.
Yeah.
So definitely respect to him and anybody that works with claymation. Honestly, it takes a lot of skill. Definitely a good watch. Not the most obviously like incredible thing you'll ever see, but pretty good for a damn YouTube video.
True.
All I got to say. Thank you guys for watching the video. See you guys next time.